Hello and welcome to the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by upshiftstore.co.uk and digitalmotorsports.com. So let's get straight to the action. This is race 3 from Monza. The starting grid is lined up and formed from the reverse positions from race 2. So in pole position it's Seamus, second is Jim Bob, third is Potsy, Ginger in 4th, Angry Man in 5th, Gamer in 6th, Seabroad in 7th, Brody in 8th, TCC in 9th, Warwolf in 10th, 11th is Firepower, Excalibur in 12th, Brian Moncarni in 13th, Flash in 14th, and at the back is Pablo in 15th. And it was actually Pablo who we lost in race 2 when I was trying to think who it was. But so we have got 15 cars again. He's managed to get back in for race 3, so it's a bit unfortunate for him in race 2, but let's see what he does here. Quite a few of them opting to go with the mediums in this final race, so again, let's see how they fare. So let's go straight to the action. So revs are up. Watch the lights. As soon as they turn to green, we'll be off. And away we go. Good start from Potsy, it would look like. So Potsy looked like he had a good start there, but it all looked like clean through there. And actually Jim Bob with an excellent start. Gets up the side of Seamus now. So head down for this first right-hander. So Jim Bob on the inside, could get himself in the lead here, which he does. Immediately gets himself in the right position. So Jim Bob takes up the lead then, with Seamus right behind him a second. Now can they get through here all clean? There's going to be an incident. Someone has gone off, I think, in the background. Who's that? That was Gamer Race. So did he get tagged or did he just run wide? Turn 1, that infamous turn 1 again, becoming an issue here tonight. So I didn't really see what happened, but it doesn't appear to be anyone slowing down. So I can only imagine he'd done it on his own. So anyway, he remains in 15th, Gamer Race, Firepower in 14th. Pablo having a look at Flash, who's down in 12th. So Pablo's going to have a look to see if he can get past, get himself up into 12th. Flash, winner of race 2. Just trying to catch up with his group in front. So Ginger in 11th, and this big gaggle here, Angry Man, right at the back of Excalibur. Does he get through there? No, he doesn't. So just sticks behind him. So Excalibur in 9th with TCC in 8th. Seabroad in 7th with Brody in 6th. So Seabroad having a look up the inside. Can he get there? I think he does. So yeah, Seabroad up to 6th, drops back down to 7th, does Brody. All goes wide though, they both go wide. Follow each other out there, but it should be fine out there, shouldn't get a penalty. So they remain in 6th and 7th. A little battle there from Excalibur and TCC. Ginger right up behind Excalibur now. Look at this battle now as they head down to this first right-hander. Now we'll stick with this because having all these cars in the mix heading into this bend, it could end up with a disaster. But all clean through there, it looks like. Yeah, clean through there. So actually that was very clean driving for that amount of cars going into one corner. That was good to see considering what's happened so far tonight. So all through there as well, through the chicane clean as well. So excellent driving by those lot. Great stuff. So then it's so we've got Seabroad in 6th, Potsy in front of him in 5th. So Potsy having a good race so far here. A little bit Brian and Mark Carney in front of him. Goes a little bit wide. But he's chasing down Warwolf in 3rd. So Warwolf having a look now. He wants to see if he can get himself up in the top 3 in this race. Been a bit unlucky in the first 2. Showed a lot of pace. Just couldn't get himself up into them top positions, but looking good at the moment. With Seamus in 2nd and Jim Bob pulling away a little bit in front in 1st. So can Jim Bob remain out there? Can he get his first victory? We'll see, but of course we're early days so far in this race. So Warwolf looking really strong. Got a good exit there. He's right at the back of Seamus. Can he get him down here? Will he pull out to the right hand side? Get himself on the inside for the next right-hander? No, just sticks behind him. Perhaps he's thinking he'll get him along the straight. But Brian Moncarni is having some of it as well. He's got himself right up the back of this now. He will get... Oh, someone's gone wide. Who was that? Was that Excalibur? I think he might have an Excalibur, gets himself out in the dirt and dust, drops back to 8th. Right up behind Brody now. TCC on the inside, trying to get up the inside of both of them. Does he get there? I think he might do. No, not quite. But he will be on the inside though, going around this turn 1. Yeah, he does get there now. The sheer pace of the Ferrari gets himself into 7th, so Excalibur having a look down here, following through too, so Brody could drop down to 8th here. He does drop, 9th, and he does drop down to 9th, gets himself on the outside. Don't want to be too far out there, there's dirt and dust out there. Seen what's happened before. But no, all clean through there, so that's good driving again by everybody. Through this tricky chicane. Ginger going a little bit wide, but manages to hang on. What a race this is so far. So Flash in 12th with Pablo in 13th. Hopefully Pablo can remain in the race in this time round. Have a look at Flash there. Did get up the inside of Ginger, I think, actually, so gets himself to 12. Got past Ginger, did he? I think he might have made a little bit of a mistake when Ginger got himself out on the dirty stuff and dropped to place. So Pablo there with Angry Man in front of him, chasing down Flash in 10th. So Angry Man, he fancies it as well. Stick with this for a second. Pablo handing Angry Man too, so can Pablo get Angry Man down here? Don't look like he's close enough. Angry Man has a look though on Flash. Does Angry Man get there on Flash? He certainly looked forward, but no, he didn't quite get there. Flash just holding him off. So Flash remains in 10th. Brody in 9th, chasing down Excalibur, who's got himself into 8th. And we've got TCC in 7th, who's trying to chase down Potsy, who's right on the back of C Broad now. So Potsy's going to get out the slip here, get himself on the right hand side for this next right hander. No, just stays behind him. Maybe he fancies it up at the chicane. TCC certainly fancies it because he's in it as well. What a race this is. Hard on the brakes for them all. Is it nice and clean? Again, looks to be really clean through there, so perhaps they've learnt their lesson from race 2 after that scruffy race. This looks a lot cleaner. It looks pretty hectic too. So Potsy can't quite get enough to get on to get past C Broad in 5th. We've got Seamus in 4th. Oh, goes back. I think Broady just went wide in the back there on the dirt and that got himself out there. Just see him in the background. So Warwolf has got himself up in the 2nd with Brian Moncani behind him in 3rd. So Warwolf does get himself up in the 2nd. Now he's chasing down Jim Bob in 1st. He's pulling away a little bit now from the rest. So Jim Bob looking good at the moment. Now Warwolf though will chase him down, try and catch up with him. Brian Moncani certainly won't give up either. They head round to the last corner to complete another lap. Can Brian Moncani, can he get the drive and get himself on the back of Warwolf here? So it looks like he's got a bit of pace in that Genesis. It's fairly equal down there, but he's getting himself slowly into the draft. He's too far back, so he's not going to get him down here at the right hander, but he might be able to get him if he gets close enough up the chicane, which, as we've seen, is a perfect passing place. If you can do it right. So drops himself on the outside. In fact, Warwolf just defended the left hand side nicely there, and he had to go around the outside, did Brian Moncani, and he didn't quite get there, but they get through there clean. Or a little bit messy from Brian Moncani, gets himself over the bumps. Might lose a spot here, he does. Yeah, he just lost a bit of drive coming out of there. He got himself out and got a bit messy, got a bit out of shape, and Seamus takes advantage, gets himself back up to 3rd. Excalibur's now on the back of this as well as C Broad, so 4 cars here in the mix. Looking for 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th place. So Seamus still out in 3rd. Excalibur now being chased down by Brian Moncani again. These two seem to be stuck together in this race. So Excalibur in 4th, Brian Moncani in 5th, and C Broad. And then TCC with a little gap back to him, but he's bringing the rest of them. I think he's catching C Broad in front of him, and he's bringing the rest of them along behind him. That's Broady, Flash and Potsy. So nicely round the last corner. And I think, being that we are just over halfway, they've got plenty of time, or they've got time I should say, to hitch themselves on the back of the front, the three in front, so we could end up with a big group of cars battling it out. So Potsy just comes out to the right hand side, gets himself in a position for the next right hander, gets himself up the side of Flash, does he? No, not quite. That slots back in behind him, so remains in 9th. Flash and Nave still trying to chase down TCC. TCC, is he catching them? Not sure, maybe. Slowly. C Broad certainly trying to chase down these lot in front, but at the moment just hasn't quite got the pace in that Audi. But they're still as they are up front, so still got Jim Bob up there with Warwolf in 2nd, Seamus in 3rd, Excalibur in 4th. Oh, goes a bit wide, Excalibur, that's going to let Brian Moncani go through, and he does. C Broad might have some of it as well, so does he get through? He does. So that mistake by Excalibur gets him back to 6th, so C Broad gets himself to 5th. Brian Moncani up to 4th. TCC still in 7th, which actually is pulling away from the rest behind him, so when I thought he was going to be bringing them along, it doesn't look like they're coming with him, but he's certainly going to have some of it, so he's trying to hitch himself in the bank, and Excalibur's got a penalty, a 1 second penalty, so that's going to help TCC. He will have to get rid of it now, which he does, so TCC will be right on him, if not past him, by the time they get to this final bend. Not quite, although Excalibur goes wide again. I don't know if he's on the medium tyres, maybe he's on the medium tyres because he loses another place. Or is he just getting a little bit ragged out there? So TCC anyway gets through to 6th. Excalibur will sit in behind in 7th to try and get into his draft. Seamus has lost a place, goes back to 5th because C Broad has got through to 4th, but Seamus will stick with him. I think you know what's going to come. I'm not going to say anything, so I think by now you know that's probably going to happen. So come round this right-hander, hard on the brakes, but no, he's not up the side of him, not up far enough. Oh. I think that was Brian Moncani going a bit wide there actually, and it was. Anyway, Warwolf. Jim Bob makes a mistake. Gets himself, I don't know what happened there, just lost it. I think he came round the right hander, lost the back end. He's brought him round, he's lost the place, so Warwolf takes up the lead in first, and he gets a penalty for his troubles too. That was a bit unfortunate, really. So he gets a penalty for actually not doing anything wrong other than losing control of it. It wasn't like he gained an advantage or anything like that, so that's a bit unfortunate to get a penalty as well as get yourself dropped back a position. So anyway, can he hold off Brian Moncani? Looks like he could, but he has still got half a second to get rid of by the time they reach this start and finish. But he's got a bit of a gap back, and actually Brian Moncani's got a second penalty too, so he's going to have to slow down too, which they both do. But again, a bit of a gap behind him, so no one's not going to trouble him at this point. So did Jim Bob get rid of his? He hasn't, and he's coming up to the start and finish now, which he will have to try and get rid of. Does he know this? And he has. Yep, right on cue again. So remains in 2nd. So, yeah, that has brought Brian Moncani onto it though, and he's got into him, he's got past him like he was standing still, so Jim Bob could actually lose a couple of places here. In fact, he's lost about 3 places. He now drops down to 5th after that. So that's unfortunate. He was out in front and he was looking good actually, and say one small mistake and that's what happens, because he drops you back to 5th here in this instance. So unlucky for Jim Bob. So Warwolf takes up the lead in front. I think he's got quite a nice lead now. Back to Brian Moncani. So is Warwolf on for his maiden victory? Oh, and Jim Bob goes wide again. Oh, and he's beginning to make a few errors. And actually, Flash and Broady in the background also made errors. So there was a coming together there on the chicane. So all a bit messy there between these three. But Jim Bob feel a bit sorry for him having led that most of the race. And then one mistake and it's all gone a little bit wrong for him, and a few mistakes creeping in now, and I think the pressure of it again, the ones behind, they're getting themselves in a bit of a mess. Brody and Flash, but Ginger's going to take advantage, he won't care. He said thanks very much, I'll have 9th. So gets himself into 9th. So just as I was saying, it looks a bit of a cleaner race. It is clean in terms of passes, but the mistakes, there's a few errors and a few mistakes, and now just creeping in as we into the last, probably the last lap. The next lap's probably the final lap. So Flash in 8th anyway. Jim Bob again with another penalty which he gets rid of, and he's racking up these penalties now. I think certainly the pressure has got to him. I mean, he's going to do well if he can remain in 7th. 7th place is still good points, but considering where he was earlier, he's going to feel a bit disappointed with that, I think. But, you know, you have to get on with it. So anyway, back up top, we've got 2cc in 6th, chasing down Excalibur in 5th. Seamus still in 4th, still hounding C Brawl, so these two are still at it. Same position as they were last lap as they come round here, pretty much. As we enter the final lap, we are on the final lap now. So Seamus, no, again, not far enough up, so still sticks behind C Brawl in 4th. C Brawl now is chasing down Rahman Carney in 2nd. He must have made a mistake and got a penalty because he slowed right down. And actually, C Broad has got himself into 2nd. So C Broad does well. Rahman Carney, he definitely. Oh, and a bit. That was a bit. Yeah, that was a little bit rough and ready there as it came through. But look at this battle now. It's a bit door to door, but look at this lot going into the final lap. I ain't going to call who's going to finish where on this one. There's no chance of knowing that. As C Broad goes up to 4th, then Excalibur into 3rd now. Brian Moncani gets himself back up to 2nd. So let's go up anyway with Warwolf, who's going to take this victory, and what a great victory. Sitting pretty in the top 3 for most of that race, and then just bided his time, a couple of mistakes in front of him, and he's got himself a victory. So well done to Warwolf. Maiden victory. Good race. So it's first for Warwolf, well done. And then Brian Moncani looks like he's got 2nd, closely followed by Excalibur again. So Brian Moncani gets 2nd. Excalibur in 3rd. Seabroad does 4th, so well done to him. TCC in 5th, Seamus in 6th. Jim Bob does get that 7th, so well done Jim Bob. Flash in 8th. Ginger in 9th. Firepower drops back down to 10th. Game Race in 11th, being chased down by Pablo in 12th. And then we've got Brody in 13th, Angry Man in 14th, and Potsy in 15th. So there you go, that's the 3 races for you tonight from Monza. I hope you enjoyed it, and catch me again for round 3 soon.